Imagine standing on the shores of our beautiful archipelago, where the sun rises over endless waves and mountains meet the sky. For generations, Filipinos have called this place home, a land of 7,641 islands shaped by the Pacific Ring of Fire and the Typhoon Belt, with more than 36,000 kilometers of coastline linking communities across the sea. Yet this same geography means that many provinces experience nature's forces not as rare events, but as recurring realities. Typhoons bring heavy rains, earthquakes remind us of shifting ground, and seasonal changes test rivers, fields, and livelihoods. If you are watching as a parent, a grandparent, or someone caring for family from afar, perhaps an overseas Filipino thinking of loved ones back home, this is not meant to create fear. It is about awareness. Reports from PAGASA and PHIVOLCS show that understanding patterns of exposure helps communities prepare, protect lives, and strengthen resilience. Today on Discovering the Earth, we explore 10 Philippine provinces with the highest exposure to natural disasters, ranked by storm frequency, fault systems, terrain stability, climate variability, and how people and infrastructure intersect with these risks. We look at why these patterns exist, how they affect daily life, and the resilience that defines Filipino communities. We begin with number 10, Abra. Nestled in the rugged heart of the Cordilleras, Abra is known for terraced rice fields, fast-flowing rivers, and close-knit communities in towns such as Bangued and Lacube. Many residents depend on small-scale farming and traditional crafts, reflecting a strong connection to land and heritage. However, Abra's position near active fault lines and its steep terrain expose it repeatedly to earthquakes and landslides, with occasional flooding from the Abra River. PHIVOLCS assessments note that Abra lies near segments of the Philippine Fault, making ground shaking a recurring concern. The mountainous landscape increases landslide risks, especially during periods of heavy rainfall when soil becomes unstable. Climate stress appears through irregular rain patterns that loosen slopes, while dry periods constrain water sources in upland areas. Between 2023 and 2025, communities reported a steady rise in felt earthquakes, including events in late 2024 that prompted renewed safety drills. Homes built with traditional materials sometimes shift on uneven ground, leading families to reinforce foundations using locally available resources. Farming activities may slow due to disrupted irrigation, and river fishing pauses during flood alerts. Schools in remote barangays occasionally suspend classes for inspections, while health centers manage minor injuries with practiced preparedness. In early 2025, after a moderate earthquake in Danglas, residents gathered calmly to check on neighbors and prepare emergency supplies together. It was not panic, but collective care, an example of how Abra continues forward through shared responsibility. As we move to number 9, we remain in the highlands, where similar terrain presents another set of challenges. Province number 9, Benguet. High in the Cordilleras, Benguet is home to La Trinidad's farms, Baguio's markets, and indigenous communities whose livelihoods depend on the land. While the cool climate and high elevation support agriculture and tourism, the province's unstable slopes and fault systems expose it to landslides and earthquakes. Studies from PHIVOLCS and the Mines and Geosciences Bureau indicate that Benguet intersects several fault extensions, contributing to frequent ground movement. Past mining activity and deforestation have further increased landslide susceptibility, especially during prolonged rains. Densely populated areas such as Itagon and Tuba face additional strain as roads, water lines, and hillside settlements contend with shifting terrain. From 2023 to 2025, reports show increased rain-triggered landslides, particularly during stronger southwest monsoons. Agricultural areas experience blocked access roads and delayed harvests, while tourism slows temporarily during safety advisories. Schools in higher elevations suspend classes for inspections, and health centers address respiratory and dust-related concerns. In mid-2023, when landslides blocked access to Kabayan, residents worked together to clear paths, sharing knowledge passed down through generations. These efforts reflect how Benguet balances risk with collective resilience. From the highlands, we move down to the plains, where water becomes both a source of life and a challenge. Province number 8, Pangasinan. Stretching along the Lingayen Gulf, Pangasinan is a major agricultural and coastal province in northern Luzon. Its wide river systems and flat terrain support rice farming, fishing, and trade, but also make the province highly vulnerable to flooding and typhoons. PAGASA data consistently places Pangasinan within major storm paths, where heavy rainfall causes rivers such as the Agno and Bued to overflow. Coastal areas face storm surges, while urban centers struggle with drainage during extended wet periods. Between 2023 and 2025, rainfall intensity increased, with floods lasting longer than in previous years. Riverbank communities rely on elevated homes and sandbagging to protect belongings, while fishing and salt production pause during severe weather. Schools adjust schedules or use alternative learning methods, and health centers distribute clean water supplies to prevent illness. During a major flood in late 2023, families in San Fabian shared food and shelter in evacuation centers, reinforcing bonds through shared experience. These moments of cooperation continue to shape Pangasinan's recovery after each storm. We now turn inland to central Luzon, where floodplains and volcanic history intersect. Province number 7, Pampanga. Pampanga lies within central Luzon's low-lying plains, an area shaped by rivers and past volcanic activity. The province's dense population and economic activity heighten its exposure to floods, while lingering volcanic sediments from Mount Pinatubo continue to influence the landscape. Environmental assessments show that Pampanga remains vulnerable to river overflows and lahar deposits during intense rainfall. Urban growth increases pressure on drainage systems, roads, and power supply, especially during prolonged flooding. From 2023 to 2025, flood durations increased in several municipalities, with some areas experiencing extended inundation. Families adapt by elevating homes and securing livelihoods, while markets and schools adjust operations during emergencies. Healthcare facilities prepare for respiratory and water-related concerns following floods. In one 2024 flood event, teachers in Sasmuan retrieved learning materials and continued lessons in temporary shelters, turning disruption into continuity. Such efforts reflect Pampanga's commitment to preparedness and education. From central Luzon, we move southeast to the Pacific-facing provinces of Bicol. Province number 6, Catanduanes. Facing the open Pacific, Catanduanes is often the first province to encounter incoming typhoons. Its narrow shape and hilly interior expose communities to strong winds, heavy rain, and landslides. Weather records consistently show Catanduanes experiencing frequent direct storm impacts. Saturated soil and steep slopes increase landslide risk, particularly in areas with limited vegetation. Remote barangays face added challenges due to limited access and infrastructure. From 2023 to 2025, storms brought stronger winds and heavier rainfall. Homes reinforced after earlier disasters provide greater protection, while agriculture recovers through shared replanting efforts. Ports close temporarily during storms, and schools rely on distance learning to maintain continuity. In 2023, residents in Bagamanok worked together to shelter neighbors and plan post-storm recovery, demonstrating preparedness shaped by experience. From Catanduanes, we move to a province where volcanic activity adds another layer of risk. Province number 5, Albay. Albay surrounds Mayon volcano, one of the country's most active. Fertile soils support agriculture, but volcanic activity, combined with typhoons and flooding, creates ongoing exposure. PHIVOLCS monitoring highlights the risk of ashfall, lahars, and earthquakes linked to Mayon and nearby faults. Heavy rains compound these risks by mobilizing volcanic debris through river systems. Between 2023 and 2025, lahar flows increased following heightened volcanic activity. Communities regularly clear ash from rooftops and adjust farming and tourism activities during alert periods. Schools conduct multi-hazard drills, and health centers prepare for ash-related health issues. In early 2025, residents worked together to protect fields during minor ashfall, reflecting long-standing adaptation to living alongside an active volcano. We now move eastward to the Visayas, where typhoons remain a dominant force. Province number 4, Eastern Samar. Located along the eastern seaboard, Eastern Samar frequently experiences direct typhoon impacts. Coastal flooding, landslides, and river overflows affect communities across the province. PAGASA reports show repeated storm landfalls, with storm surges and prolonged rainfall challenging infrastructure and livelihoods. Past land use has increased landslide risk in upland areas. From 2023 to 2025, successive storms extended recovery periods. Fishing and farming activities adjust to early harvests, while schools and clinics operate in temporary or alternative settings. After a severe storm in 2023, families gathered to share stories and plan safer housing designs, blending tradition with adaptation. We continue southward to Mindanao's northeastern coast. Province number 3, Surigao del Sur. Surigao del Sur lies near the Philippine Trench, exposing it to earthquakes, typhoons, and landslides. Coastal and upland communities face overlapping hazards linked to tectonic activity and climate patterns. PHIVOLCS data shows regular seismic activity, while weather systems bring heavy rains that destabilize slopes. Mining and agriculture add pressure to vulnerable areas. Between 2023 and 2025, offshore earthquakes and landslides affected transportation and livelihoods. Schools and clinics adapted through remote learning and community support systems. In 2024, families gathered in open spaces after a strong tremor, sharing food and reassurance until conditions stabilized. We now head north to the wide floodplains of Cagayan Valley. Province number 2, Isabela. Isabella's broad plains make it one of the country's most productive agricultural provinces, but also one of the most flood-prone. Typhoons, river flooding, and occasional earthquakes shape life across the province. Hydrological data from recent years shows rising river levels and slower flood recession. Climate shifts bring alternating wet and dry periods that strain water systems. From 2023 to 2025, farmers adopted flood-resilient crops, while schools and health centers integrated disaster preparedness into daily routines. During a major flood in 2024, communities worked together to protect harvests and plan long-term water management strategies. Finally, we arrive at the province with the highest overall exposure. Province number 1, Cagayan. Cagayan sits at the northern gateway of Luzon, facing the Pacific with a long coastline and a vast river basin. This geography places it at the center of multiple hazards, including typhoons, floods, earthquakes, and coastal erosion. Risk assessments consistently rank Cagayan among the most exposed provinces due to frequent storm landfalls and extreme rainfall. River flooding, landslides in mountainous areas, and coastal impacts affect both rural and urban communities. From 2023 to 2025, rainfall intensity increased, leading to widespread flooding. Families elevated storage areas, schools prepared evacuation plans, and hospitals strengthened response protocols. Even during severe floods, community cooperation remained strong, reinforcing Cagayan's resilience despite repeated challenges. High exposure does not define a community's future. Across these provinces, Filipino resilience stands out through preparedness, cooperation, and shared responsibility. Early warnings, community drills, and adaptive livelihoods continue to reduce risks and protect lives. By understanding these patterns, families and leaders can plan better and build safer communities together. Natural disasters are part of the Philippines' geography, but preparation shapes how we live with them. Awareness allows families to act early, leaders to plan wisely, and overseas Filipinos to feel reassured about loved ones back home. By recognizing both risks and resilience, we honor the strength found across these provinces. The question is not whether disasters will happen, but how ready we choose to be. Thank you for watching Discovering the Earth. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay connected. Salamat.